So I'm in my car thinking, like I always do. I'm sure you're thinking I should be paying attention to the road, but I just had an experience with my wife about a product she wanted to purchase that was health related. And she said to me, I don't know if I want to do it because it's kind of expensive. And I said to her, rather than worrying about the price, I said, why don't you worry about the results? Call some other people, find some people who've used the product, and find out if it works. I said, if it doesn't work, then yes, it's too expensive. If it works, then it's not too expensive. If the product works, then it's an investment in yourself. And if you get the outcome you want, then it was a great investment. If you don't get the outcome you want, then it's too expensive. And, I keep going back to this concept about having the willingness to invest in yourself. I remember when I was a real estate agent at a different company, not my own brokerage, and I offered coaching to people, to other agents. And at that time, I was making over $100,000 a year as an agent. And I was going to teach my business plan. And I was, how everything I do to make $100,000 a year. And the fee was $500 a month. And you got, a couple hours of coaching. You got my business model, my written manual of all the things I do, when I do it, how I do it. Basically a business model as a real estate agent to make $100,000 a year. I'll never forget, several agents were interested, but when they found out the price, they said, wow, that's really expensive. And I just had to laugh because I'm thinking, I'm going to teach you how to make $100,000 a year. And you're telling me that, $6,000 over 12 months is too expensive. And that's the difference, I think, between people that have an investment mindset and an employee, purchaser, consumer mindset. They're looking at it like they're buying a product instead of investing in themselves. And I went through the same thing when I did my first mastermind group. I had so many people schedule Calendly calls and were very interested in the mastermind. I was able to determine they were good candidates for it. They were able to determine that I had the experience to help them. But as soon as I told them the price, they were like, wow, that's really expensive. And again, I'm thinking, okay, you're living paycheck to paycheck right now, and I'm going to help you develop a wealth mindset and actually build wealth. And you're telling me it's too expensive. And the message today that I want to get to you is something isn't too expensive if it's an investment that gets you the results you want. I've had people come to me and say, gee, I'm going to put this lead generation website together for you, and I recommend you spend $1,000 a month on Facebook ads. And they would say to me, is that too expensive? Is that in your budget? And I would say, well, if I get, $4,000 or $5,000 a month in commissions, then $1,000 isn't too much. I said, it just depends on the ROI. If I get a good return on investment, then it's not too expensive. If I don't make at least my $1,000 back, then it's too expensive. And if you want to be successful, if you want to change your life, reach your goals, obtain personal and financial freedom, and not need a job anymore, you must get to this point where you look at your expenditures based on what you're going to get back from them, not the actual amount of money going out of your pocket. It amazes me how people will spend, $30,000 to $50,000 for a car, which is just a liability. That takes money out of your pocket every day. But they won't spend, $900 for a seminar on private lending or e-commerce or real estate investing. They won't spend $5,000 or $10,000 on mastermind, things that are going to put money in their pocket. And that's why I keep going back to the same notion that building wealth and financial freedom, it is all about mindset. It really is. It's not about coming up with some idea that's going to make you an instant millionaire. It's not about coming up with the next Airbnb app or the next Facebook app. It's not about finding that rental property that just makes tons of cash flow. It's about mindset. And if you can't get to that investor mindset where you're not worried about the money you're spending on yourself because you know it's going to be worth the investment. It's gonna get you to that next level. You'll never get anywhere, okay? So stop worrying about whether it's too expensive. Worry about whether the results are going to be there.